Hey everyone, I'm Tammy, I'm the Siberian Wind, and this is another After Sunset Sunday, so welcome in. After Sunset Sunday is always where we go kind of hang out and just get a few things done. There's no real set format for After Sunset Sundays. It's just let's hang out and get the weekend wrapped up with some sewing or sewing related things. So that's what we're going to do today. I see Chloe and Judy and Linda have all commented. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and being ready for tonight. I know After Sunset Sunday tends to be the fun one to come hang out to. So if you do miss any of my other lives, After Sunset tends to be where everything is absolutely laid back and just good times. Just absolutely good times. All right. So I'm going to bring you guys down. We're going to do some cutting tonight. As you guys can see, I am wearing a brace. Kathy is here from my hubby home. Welcome in, Kathy. Do you have to work tomorrow for Labor Day? If not, that means you might be able to hang out a little bit later than normal. Stay up past your bedtime. Laura is here as well. Welcome in, Laura. Welcome in. So I got diagnosed with a de Quervain tendinovitis or something along those lines. It's like a really long thing to say. Glenda's here in the chat. Welcome in, Glenda. Glad you're here, sweetie. She does not have to work tomorrow, so Kathy can hang out. Yay! That is awesome. So yeah, I am in a brace they said the doctor wasn't very clear. I'll put it that way. She kind of gave me the indication that, wear the brace at night, wear it, when I'm not doing a whole lot, when I'm not icing my wrist, when I'm not stretching, like all of that kind of stuff. But she really didn't make it clear to me, and I made it very clear to the doctor that I am a quilter and that I use my hands a lot. Like, seriously, a lot. And she didn't give me any kind of indication that I needed to be wearing my brace all of the time. And I started doing a little bit of reading, and yes, Google can tell you you're going to be dead in 24 hours, that kind of searching stuff. But multiple places, Cleveland Clinic and a couple of other places that I looked up what my diagnosis is, they said if you do not do strict rest on your wrist, if you're not doing surgery immediately, if you don't do strict rest on your wrist, you could lose all function in your thumb, and that kind of got me a little bit worried. So I will be sporting the wonderful blue and black brace for the next however long. I got it Thursday, and I started wearing it 24 hours starting last night after I got corrected by Dr. Google. And so yeah, we will be wearing this until either they give me another diagnosis. I do have a second opinion appointment that I've requested to see if I'm on the right path, and if I'm not, do I need to go ahead and get surgery? My understanding is that the de Quervain whatever thing. Joyce is in the chat. Welcome in, Joyce. The recommendation was that if the de Quervain thing doesn't resolve with rest for 4 to 6 weeks, rest and ice and heat and whatever, that surgery would be the next best option. But it's only a 91% success rate so like a 9% complication rate, which kind of worries me. So we are doing the preventative, wear the brace, and just take it, as it goes. Kathy says, that is scary. Definitely take heed just in case it could be bad. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of my thing is, like, until I moved to Wyoming, I did not do this much quilting all the time. Like, I did quilting, and I would push and push and push and push when I did a quilt. Like, I would get it done fast, but that, it was like one here and one there and, things like that. It wasn't 2, 3, 4 quilts at a time and all of that. So now I am cutting a lot. I am pressing a lot. I am doing all kinds of things with my fingers. And my understanding is that the cyst or whatever that's on my wrist is coming from an injury. So I don't know when. I have no idea. The doctor that I went to told me that it could have been something as simple as, accidentally banging it on the counter, or, reaching into a drawer and something falling on it. It could have been something simple that didn't leave a bruise or anything. So, no telling. Pam is here as well. She says hi, Tammy, and everyone. Welcome in, Pam. Glad you made it. So, I'm going to bring you guys down to the table here in just a second. But what we are working on tonight is, if you guys remember these blocks, I've got a whole bunch of them, and I don't remember, like, I'm looking, I think I found one. Okay, there's the one that's the 100% accurate. So these are the test blocks for my client's quilt. And so what we're doing is we are actually working on my client's fabric right now. I've already put in, a good 3 hours, if not 4 hours today. I'm going to count it at 3. But yeah, this is the right size block. But I'm going to show you guys where I'm at and show you guys what I'm doing, because I am trimming down my half square triangles. So let me bring you guys over to the table. So you guys will end up seeing my table all day. And yes, I'm going to rotate this board. I go ahead and warn you of that, because I don't want to make you guys sick. But it could potentially make you sick when I rotate this board around. And let me actually clean out my scrap bowl real quick. I have not been good about cleaning it out, so it was basically full. So we're gonna go we're gonna go fill it up again. So this is, and I'm gonna make this bigger so I can see better. So I'm seeing what you guys are seeing in full color. No, I'm just kidding. It's close. It's full color. So this is the block that we are doing for my client's quilt. And so I did put measurements in my paperwork, and I just wanted to make sure. I did put that my center pinwheel was 4.5. It is 4-inch finish, so I am needing to have my half square my pinwheel unit come out at 4.5. Glenda says it kind of grows on you after a while. I wore a cast 2 different times for 2 months each within the same year when they removed one of the 2 bones in my right thumb. Oh my gosh. I will say this. I think my biggest struggle is learning how to adequately use my hand in the brace. And I have trimmed, okay. I'm going to show you what they did. When they made this brace, this blue in here is like a breathable mesh fabric, and then they put a sticker on it, you guys. That little label right there is a sticker. It sticks to your skin. It sticks to your skin, and it is the most annoying thing about wearing this, beyond just the learning curve of trying to figure out how to cut and hold my ruler and all of that. I'm learning. I will learn. I'm not shy about that, but that sticker. So if you guys see me like pulling at the brace, it is because I'm pulling at that sticker. I agree, Laura. She says, "Oh my goodness, Glenda, I hope all is well now." Yeah, Glenda's been through the ringer with her hand, with them taking bones out. That is awful. It does not sound fun. The doctor that I saw indicated that they would try like injections first, to see whether or not injections would give me pain relief. And I'm great with the pain relief idea. Like that's fine and fantastic and all. But I was actually losing feeling in my thumb. Pam says take a tiny scrap and put over the sticker. I have thought of that. I just haven't done it yet. Because my other thing is that I will, when I go to like move at night or whatever, I do move a lot at night. I will say that. I toss and turn. I do move. I am not a fall asleep in one position and wake up in that position type person. That is not what I do. So I am going to have to affix the fabric that I put over that sticker, so that it does not shift. Because I think that's going to be my problem, is that it's going to do that. Is that it's going to shift on me. All right, let's see. Glenda says her thumb turns under her hand. Well, you know, if that's what it takes to become the circus act and, you know, be able to do the all the cool little things that nobody else can do, you know, I guess that's a small price to pay, right? I'm just kidding. I promise. I'm just kidding. She says she had to learn to use her left hand. Yeah. I am ambidextrous. I am dominant right, but I am ambidextrous. So if something ever does happen to my right hand, until this, I could have used my left. Now with my left hand, you know, giving me problems, I'm not quite sure what that's going to do to my dexterity. Judy says that she had a bone joint taken out of her left hand and a fusion on her right thumb and carpal tunnel on both. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys. I will say this. If carpal tunnel does run in families, I will probably end up with it. I do probably already have carpal tunnel. I just haven't been diagnosed with it yet. I definitely have a lot of hand pain. So doing a lot of what I do it in batches so that I can take breaks and rest. But there's just times that I don't have the time to break and rest as much as I'd like. Judy says, yes, Glenda, I just have limited movement to both my hands. Oh, goodness. Okay. Goodness. Yeah, so the thing is, before having the brace on my hand, I was having trouble doing this. You guys can see my hand down here. I was having trouble doing this to hold my ruler. I was literally taking my larger rulers, the ones that, you know, you've got enough room to put your arm on, and I was doing this to weight my ruler down enough. I was putting my shoulder and elbow into it and using my forearm to weigh it down, and that's how I have to get up off the floor too. Susie says, good evening, welcome in, Susie, glad you made it. Kathy says that she had bilateral carpal tunnel and had the carpal tunnel release surgery on both hands. It was a blessing to have, but you do have arthritis after the fact. Oh yeah, I already have arthritis to begin with, so I will not be shocked at all for that. My current arthritis is psoriatic arthritis, so it's inflammatory arthritis, and with that comes, you know, its whole host of little, you know, problems and all of that as well. Let's see. Glenda says, me too, Judy, but so very thankful I can still use my hand. There you go. That is what to be thankful for. That is definitely something to be thankful for. So there is a lady that I know. She's kind of skirted a lot of the groups I've been in. I think maybe she's moved now. I'm not sure if she's the one that's moved or if it's a different lady by a similar name that moved. She had a carpal tunnel surgery and she ended up with a complication and lost a lot of abilities in her hand, and it has greatly impacted her ability to quilt, especially cutting. She's not been able to cut fabric very well. She is struggling even to hold a martelli cutter. This is something she cannot do. So I really hope that I don't end up needing that. Let's see. Kathy says that she no longer suffers with arthritis, so that means you enjoy it. Okay, gotcha. All right. I'm just kidding. That's a long-standing joke. I don't suffer from insanity. I enjoy every minute of it. I do have I've been getting infusions for my psoriatic arthritis, and so far they're working. But I am definitely having some breakthrough pain and breakthrough swelling. So I am going to talk to the rheumatologist when I see them again, which I don't know when that's going to be. Kathy says that she can't feel her pinky finger on her left hand. Oh, well, that would make what I'm doing a lot more difficult, because you have to make sure that that pinky finger is out of the way of being off of the ruler. Oh my goodness. You definitely got to make sure to give yourself some kind of way to make sure that you're not going to cut into your finger this way. I guess I would have to make an adjustment if I end up with something like that. I guess that's going to be the next one that I learn how to do. All right, so we've got a couple of quilts coming up, you guys. If you don't remember, let's see. I started putting castor oil pack on my thumb, and it's not quite as painful. Oh, that's good. That's good news, Glenda. And then Kathy says I actually take Pura Vida Moringa supplement because the meds just got too expensive and my insurance didn't cover it all. Shots ran around $2,000 each shot. I do have dual insurance, and that is the only reason that I can afford my infusions. I don't know what my copay would be for the infusions without my secondary insurance being there. But when I was starting to have insurance issues at the beginning of August, you guys, that was my first panic, was not having insurance for my infusions. My infusions do run, I think what they're billing the insurance company is about $22,000 per infusion. And that is every 6 weeks. So I'm an expensive person. I have expensive taste, or my body does. You know, that's what we're going to go with. My body has expensive taste. But thankfully the infusions are working. You know, that's kind of the thing. Kathy says that she can move her pinky finger at all the knuckles. It's just if you touch it, you can't feel it. Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely some nerve damage. It's good that you can move them all, but it's not good that you can't tell that you're touching it. So I am doing these in batches of 4, and I do have a good stack of them already out of the way over here. It's going to take 4 of these half square triangles. I'll show you once I get this next batch of them done. And I'll show you what we're looking at, what it's going to look like. I mean, granted, it's a pinwheel. I mean, it's a fairly standard shape, but yeah, it's I wasn't even thinking about that, you guys. Isn't my client's fabric so beautiful? It's 2 different shades of green and batiks. That's what he picked out. Judy is here. Welcome in, Judy. We have 2 Judys in the chat again. In case anybody is wondering, I am including them all. So one thing I have found, you guys, because of where the pain is and because it is more localized to my thumb, the brace that I'm wearing has a metal piece here that's keeping my thumb from moving, but it also has a metal piece here that is like it is kind of like one of those carpal tunnel braces. And what I'm doing is I am literally using the metal in my brace So I'm bringing my elbow and shoulder into this, and I'm using the metal in the brace to help hold the ruler. So in case you guys are wondering, that's how I'm getting past the brace and cutting. But there were a couple of other rulers I tried to use today, and I could not use them. This has been the best one so far. Judy says trigger finger. No, actually, it is de Quervain tendinosynovitis, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. The tendinosynovitis thing is one word, but it's de Quervain. So they want me to not move my thumb for 4 to 6 weeks and see if that helps. Judy says that she loves the colors. Chloe says, I love greens. Glenda says, very pretty colors. Right. And these are, so this is going to go in the pinwheel, and then this light green, I have more of it standing by, because we are going to end up, probably I don't think I'm going to get through this whole stack of cutting. So, but if we did get through it, I was going to go ahead and trim the corner pieces into 2 triangles so that we'd have them trimmed up and ready to go. Charlotte is here. She says, hey, Tammy, welcome in, Charlotte. Glad you made it. Welcome to another Sunset Sunday. We did definitely started early, but that's okay. So with this being the case, I don't know what I can do about the measurements. Maybe I should be able to do the measurements, for the baby quilt that we are going to do this month. Deb is here as well. She just joined in. She says, hi, Tammy. Welcome in, Deb. Welcome. So the September, I think, 12th, 19th, and 26th. Let me actually grab my calendar real quick, you guys. I has a new calendar. I has a new one. The 12th, 19th, and 26th are going to be the bauble quilt. It is a baby quilt. And I am going to be cutting it using my AccuQuilt cutter. So I have a studio die for this quilt. Let me actually see. I don't know. It's buried. I'm not going to be able to dig it out right this second. My dies are behind some plastic tables and my big ironing board. They're in the way, and right now I have to have a little bit of help because I don't want to overuse my right hand. So my husband is going to have to help me move those. I'm going to enlist his help. It's the weirdest thing in the world to enlist help to do things that you're used to being able to do. It is so weird. It's so weird. You guys, hit that thumbs up or the like button if you will. If you don't want to do that, hit the thumbs down for me. I do have good news. We are at our watch hours for monetization. So YouTube is just waiting for me to hit 500. So if you guys know somebody who would enjoy the content on my channel, feel free to send them over. Let them know to subscribe and hang out for a bit. And let's see if we can get to that marking of 500. We were at 408 earlier today. So we have finally crossed that 400 and stayed over it for a few days. Charlotte is here as well. She says, perfect timing, Charlotte. You guys are funny. So we have 2 Judys in the chat today, and we have 2 Charlottes. And guys, we are at 22 viewers. I am so excited about that. Yep. Kathy says that she just noticed I'm only 92 away from the 500. Yep, absolutely. That is where we are sitting as of tonight. Thank you, Glenda. She says, congratulations. Thank you. I really did not expect to be this far towards monetization until closer to January of next year. So January of 2025 is when my goal was to hit 500 subscribers and the 3,000 watch hours. I am over the 3,000 and we just need to hit the 500. So that's all we're waiting. Chloe says, that is exciting, over 400. Woohoo! Yes, right? Right? I'm so thankful, you guys. I am thankful above all else. It is not me. It is all you guys hanging out, coming to support, enjoying the content, sharing the content, things like that. It is all you guys and your help and your support. And I appreciate every last one of you for doing that. So that is awesome. So yeah. And we have had a lot of, Charlotte's like, hello everyone. Yes. Welcome. Yes. Everybody say hello to Charlotte again. We're getting all the Charlottes in here today. Laura says, congratulations. Thank you. Oh, yay. Kathy says that she's editing a video and tagging me in it for tomorrow. That is awesome. I meant to do a short before Friday, and I didn't do it. So I need to get on the ball and get it out before tomorrow morning, so that way all of the other content creators that I'm going to tag in it can answer the questions. Gotta get them going, right? Gotta get everybody tagged and gotta get everybody excited about it. I am looking forward so much to that Land That I Love quilt starting in November. But I have to get this other stuff out of the way first. So here's what we've got on the docket for September. We have got the bobble quilts. We are going to finish this. I am planning to have this done, I'm hoping, by Friday. Now, with that being said, Thursday is a bum day for me. I will have my infusion Thursday morning, and I accidentally scheduled my pajama pants class. Helen is here. She says, hi all. Welcome in, Helen. Kathy says, me too. I went and picked up fabric on Friday. Yay! I'm going to be excited to see that. I haven't pulled mine out, I don't think. Mine all came with a kit, so I have not pulled mine out to show everyone. I did refold it all because the way it came folded in the kit was gorgeous, but it was really shifty and hard to pack in my suitcase. So I definitely had to refold it either way. But let's see, I've got, we are going to try to finish this up by Friday. If not, I may extend this to Saturday, so you guys may see me finishing this quilt top, these quilt tops rather, on Saturday morning if I haven't finished them before then. But the goal is to have these done by then. Wednesday is also basically a bum day because I am out of the house and I'm not going to work on this out of the house. Kathy says I have some from my stash that I'm going to add into it. Perfect. That's the great way I love doing that. I just don't really have any good reds, whites, and blues like that to be able to do that. So I'm super excited, and I haven't even divided up how my fabrics are going to go yet. So that's going to be something that will probably be the third week of September is dividing all of that up and getting it set. So yeah, we're going to go that route. And what we may do in November, let me not speak out of turn, but I'm thinking that we may do a cutting month. I'm not sure. Actually, no, I take that back. We were not doing a cutting month, or I wasn't planning to. I was going to do all of one of the duplicated blocks that there's a lot of duplicates of. I was going to do that in November and then do the other duplicates in December, and then in January start all the odds and ends blocks. Kathy says, I thought I would have more, but most of my reds and blues were the same tone, so to do the quilt justice, I purchased new. Perfect. Charlotte says, Tammy, when I hit join, you immediately said, Charlotte's here. I thought you were psychic. Oh, that's perfect. Rob is here as well. He says, hi, Tammy and friends. I hope all are well. We are as well as we can be, Rob. We are. I am learning how to use the the blue and black hardware that I have picked up this week. For those who have joined late, it is I was diagnosed with a de Quervain tendinosynovitis, if I am pronouncing that correctly. And so my doctor did not indicate to me how much I needed to not use my wrist. She just said we can try the brace and then we can try steroid injections and, see how those are going to go for you. And if those don't work, then you might be looking at surgery. Kathy says your new hardware is quite trendy. Thank you. I kind of think that's a compliment, but then again, I really don't want it to be. I don't want to have the hardware. Can you take it from me? I'll be more than happy to gift it. I'll pay it forward. If I did trim the Velcro today. You know how when they give you these one size fits all, braces and such, the Velcro is always, unless you're incredibly swollen when they give you the brace, the Velcro is always hanging off like 3 extra inches, like off to the side, and you're hitting it with everything. So yeah, we went and trimmed the Velcro. So I've got like half an inch there. I've got like a quarter of an inch here. We trimmed a little too close. I've got about half an inch there and about half an inch here as well. So, let's see. Charlotte says de Quervain sucks. Had it in my non-dominant hand. Yeah, this is my non-dominant as well, thankfully. But they did not tell me, and I'm kind of upset with them. They did not tell me that if I did not completely give my wrist rest, that it could cause permanent loss of function in my wrist. So when I found that out last night through Dr. Google, I was like, well, okay, we will change tactics and it will be a permanent wear 24/7 until they tell me not to. Hey, anything to keep you from hurting your hand works, right, Kathy? That's kind of what I'm going with is, it's been kind of weird because so we first noticed the bump on my wrist back at the end of June. That's how long it's been, guys. End of June. And I was sent for an x-ray, and they said, well, we can't find anything. And then they sent me for an ultrasound, and they said they couldn't find anything. So they were recommending an MRI. And my primary care was finally like, well, let's just send you to a specialist and see if they think you need an MRI. And that's when they did the diagnosis. Glenda says, does your brace have a sleeve inside so it doesn't rub blisters? No, of course not. That would be wishful thinking. Now, I could probably make a sleeve. I could probably, I've got old t-shirts, like long sleeve t-shirts, from my husband's, I can't wear these anymore pile. And I could probably take a sleeve apart and make a sleeve to wear underneath it. And that's what I may end up doing, because this will end up rubbing after a bit. I can already tell you, because even with it being as tight as it's supposed to be, I can still feel a few spots that are rubbing. Kathy says when she had carpal tunnel and that bar in the palm was her biggest friend. Yes, right? That's kind of what, that bar is what's giving me any kind of control over this ruler. So the ruler is not moving as long as I'm putting my wrist into it, but it's my arm into the brace. I don't actually feel any of it in my wrist when I do that. And I do have ganglion cysts in both wrists. So I'm not sure. She said that those are unrelated. But, I'm not sure if this is going to make my my ganglion cyst feelings worse. But we'll see. We'll give it a try. Use a sock to make a sleeve. I've thought about that too. The only socks in the house that are long enough are my husband's. And he is very attached to his socks. So the likelihood that I can steal one is going to be slim. When I had to make something for my dog to prevent him from licking his paw. I had to steal these socks that were the most holy socks. Rob says that he does not have his black thread. It should be there Wednesday. That is a long time to wait for your thread, Rob. That's a really long time. Bless you and your patience for waiting that long. I would be up in arms because I would want my thread right there, right now. So, speaking of thread, I did have to order Isacord thread for the Halloween Town embroideries that I'm doing. And one of the spools that I had to order was black. Well, I ordered a couple of other colors while I was at it. But the other colors came in and the black was packaged with one of them. And that was my only saving grace. But I had about 7,000 stitches left on the old spool. Joyce is here. She says, hi, Tammy and everyone. So we now have 2 Charlottes, 2 Joyces, and 2 Judys. Gotcha. Welcome to the chat. Glenda says, make sure you keep your arm moisturized so it doesn't dry out. Yes. That is the other challenge. Thankfully, I don't tend to have very dry skin to start with. So that helps a little bit. But I am taking my arm out to rest it every so often. I love it. Judy's like, hi there, Joyce. Glenda says that Rob's thread must be coming from China, right? That would be my luck, is my thread would be coming from China. So I did get another Halloween Town stitch today, guys. So I now have 11 blocks from Halloween Town stitched out of 25. So we're not quite halfway there yet, but we are getting so much closer. So earlier today, it's dark navy. Oh, that's what it is. It's the dark navy. It's like the dark web, but it's in thread. So, you know. I don't know where that joke came from. Do not hate me for that joke. But that, yeah, okay. On a slow boat, Rob, says Helen, right? So what I've been doing is when I am cutting things and pressing things and all of that, if I don't need to sew immediately, I have been running beauty with an embroidery. So all day today, so I started out the day today, all of these half square triangles are still joined in pairs of 2. So I had to cut them apart. Then I also had to press them, and now I've been trimming them. So all day today, nothing has been actual sewing, like regular sewing. It has all been, all it has been is the random stuff. The stuff you got to do anyway, no matter what you do. So I have had an embroidery running all day, and that's how I got block number 11, or my number 11 block, stitched out. So, and September 13th is on a Friday, and I thought it would be very appropriate to stitch the 13th block of Halloween Town on a Friday the 13th, but I think I'm going to be done with it by then. Because that's only, a couple days away, so, or I'm only a couple days away from having the 13th block stitched. But wouldn't that have been funny? Oh, yay, it's Kennedy is here. She says, howdy, Alabama, and everyone, welcome in. Welcome in. So, we are just trimming today. That is all we are doing. So, oh, you know what? I meant to show you guys. Jacqueline is here. Welcome in, Jacqueline. She says she's been watching but couldn't comment because her phone went dead and had to plug it in before she could. Hope everyone is well. Thank you, Jacqueline. It's been a while since I've seen you in the chat, so welcome, welcome. Glad you made it. Glad you were able to get your phone charged enough to chat. All right, so this is how these are going to go together. So when I do my live tomorrow, we're going to start at 5:30 Mountain Time tomorrow. And I will probably be sewing these pinwheels. So I'm going to do something. Please do not look if you get motion sickness, but I'm going to spin it just because I want to. Okay? Okay, so you have a warning. Look away. 3, 2, 1. Okay, sorry. Okay. It was a cheap thrill. I know. But so that is the center of the blocks for the client's quilt. And that is what they're basically going to look like. So this green and light green and dark green is going to be replacing the center. She says, it's Kennedy says, hi, Glenda and Judy and all the ones that just passed me by. Oh, you're so funny. Oh, I have definitely been working on cutting all day. Judy says, oh, I'll have to catch the replay tomorrow, family get together. Oh, absolutely. You're fine. I know that it wasn't going to be an easy live for everybody to join in. And because I am doing it on Monday night, it makes it a little bit more challenging. Don, welcome in, sir. He says, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Glad you were able to make it. I heard you've been traveling. So, yeah, I have been working on trimming all day, and tomorrow we'll be cutting. Or not cutting, sorry. Today is trimming and cutting and pressing and all of that. Tomorrow we'll be sewing. So we'll see how far I've already gotten before the live tomorrow night. And we will go from there. Yes, thank you, Helen. She says thumbs up, everyone. Absolutely. You guys, I don't think I've ever seen the numbers this high. We are at 31 viewers. Guys, that's insanely amazing. I'm so excited. Glenda says I got a dresser drawer full of 2.5-inch scrap pinwheels. That sounds like a quilt ready to be made, Glenda. That's what it sounds like to me. Rob says while waiting for the thread, he started a Dresden wedge quilt. Yeah, you're not getting me to do a Dresden. There's a lot of things I will join in on. I am not in the mood for a Dresden. I've got a couple of ladies in one of my quilt groups that are doing Dresdens right now, and no, I'm good. I'm very good. I know how to do them, but they are not my favorite, and I will reserve my hand strength for getting some of this other stuff done. So, like I said before, I am on goal to still try to have these pieced by Friday. If not, we'll be piecing them together Saturday morning. We may do an extra long live Saturday to get everything pieced. And that way my client's quilt will be, I'm hoping that both quilt tops will be done Saturday. Kathy says that is one thing on my bucket list. I've never made a Dresden. Oh, okay. Well, darn. Because now I feel like I got to do one, so you'll do one with me. You guys got to stop telling me stuff on your bucket list. It's going to be like February or March before I can do one. We could do one for the springtime. We could do one for then. But I'm not doing one before then. It's going to be springtime before I add anything else to my list. So after we get these two quilt tops done, my next path is to get working on the pattern for Andrea for Mama J Enterprises. I am a pattern tester, so you guys will get to see a quilt top go together for her. You guys won't get any of the measurements. I cannot give out those measurements. That is intellectual property. But you guys will get to see that go together. And it is going to be Quilt of Valor themed, which is super exciting. Let's see. Judy says that she loves Dresden. She made a red and white and then black background. Oh, that sounds gorgeous. Oh, you just reminded me I have a red, white, and black quilt I still need to work on. Charlotte says I've got a boatload of vintage crochet doilies to decorate a Dresden a la Fallon or Soviet quilts. Yes. I could see doing that. Thankfully, that is not in the pattern list of stuff I've got going on right now. Chloe says, hand me a mini quilt or pillow cover work to make dresses. Oh, I know. I've done them before. I've done them plenty of times before. And I think that's why I'm just not drawn to doing them again, is because I've done so many of them. And there's so many different ways you can do them. You can do the curved edges. You can do it by using like an interfacing or muslin to turn those curves smoothly. You can also do a pointed edge. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with dress ends. There really is. It's just not... I got so many other things going too. Glenda says, hit that thumbs up and share to help Tammy out. Yes, thank you, Glenda. Appreciate it. Judy, I bet that was pretty, says Joyce. I thought it would be beautiful. Where am I missing? Oh, the red, white, and black. Yes, I bet it was pretty. I bet it was. So after July next year is when I'm probably going to pick back up my 365 quilt. So that is going to be going on as well. Let's see. Charlotte says, I made a dress and table topper with prairie points. No more prairie points for this, girl. Oh, come on. Where's the fun? See, that's why I'm saying no more dress ends, because I'm just burnt out. It's not that they're not gorgeous and that they don't come together beautifully. I'm just so burnt out. Pam says, I did an Eleanor Burns dress for a Christmas wreath. Now that sounds pretty. No, I do not need another project. Do not need another project. You're not going to talk me into it. So I did do a thing. I did sign up. There is a local group. Most of them I have not met. Most of the people in there I've not met, but they are doing a gift exchange. And so you'll get an address or whatever to ship or deliver, and it's all within town. So I can go hand deliver. You're just supposed to keep the mystery going until December. So it's September, October, November, and then a big gift in December. And it's also in quilting related gifts. So I haven't decided yet what exactly I'm going to give my recipient. But I'm hoping that they do a questionnaire soon so I can kind of get an idea of what I'm going to do going forward. Glenda says the dress ends with points are very time consuming. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Charlotte says I get it. Right? Right? Kathy says I love it. Eleanor Burns. We'll have to look it up. Pam, oh, I know that was pretty. Yes, right? It was in her Egg Money book. Hers, I think, was Easter, but I used Christmas fabrics. I don't blame you. I don't think I could use... I do have Easter egg fabric, you guys. I cannot get rid of that fabric. I don't know how many fat quarters of it I have left. It is green grass fabric with Easter eggs printed on it. And one of the ladies in one of my groups said something about Easter eggs, or her Easter egg fabric. And I was like, oh, I can get rid of it. I can give it all to her. She'll want it. She doesn't. But every year when there is a fat quarter, left center right game, I try to bring some of these fat quarters that I just don't know what I'll ever do with. I try to bring some of them and get rid of them. I probably have another good 5 or 6 of them at least. Kathy says, oh, thank you. I think I have that book, but I'll double check. Oh, okay. And Helen says that she thinks she did that one from that book too. Eleanor Burns, as far as I know, is still living. Yes. I do believe she is in California now. And anybody who knows any more than I do, correct me if I'm wrong. Or no, wait. All right, you guys, hang on. Let's find out. We gotta know for sure. That's not one I wanna speak wrong on. Let's see. And of all the things, Yes, she is still alive, and she's born in 45. Let me see if it says. Yeah, she is in California. She's in a mountain town in San Diego County. So yes, she is in California. She did go. I have met her in passing a little bit. I really didn't go. I believe it is San Marcos. I believe like in passing is the best way to put it, because I didn't actually like shake her hand or get a picture with her or whatever. I struggle when I go to Paducah with the shop, with her quilt in a day shop, because it is sometimes very cramped because there's so many people, and I really cannot handle the heat. And of course, it is in April or the end of April when things are starting to really warm up in Paducah. And so when I have been in Paducah in the past, I have struggled to be in her shop very long enough to be able to meet her or anything like that. So I do believe she does still travel to Paducah, but I don't know since the pandemic, because again, the last time I went to Paducah was 2017. But according to Wikipedia, she is still around. I actually caught one of her PBS broadcasts early in her career, and I was just, oh my gosh, I was just so flabbergasted. I think it was I don't know if it was her double wedding ring. I don't think it was. Oh, no, it was the Irish chain. It was when I was doing the Irish chain baby quilt. I was watching one of her really, really early PBS broadcasts. And you guys, it was from the 90s, and it brought back so many memories. Joyce says, I have an extra wide Dresden book, but I think me and my sister, I'm going to try. Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about me and my sister designs. So I haven't tried any of their stuff. I don't think I have any of their books, but I've heard good things. I've heard very good things. Her shop is in San Marcos. Her cabin is in Ramona. She closed the shop in Paducah. Oh, did she really? Okay. See, I didn't know with the pandemic if she had done that, or if she... now, some people set up a pop-up shop. So I don't know if people on her behalf set up a pop-up shop in Paducah, because she'd absolutely make a killing doing that still. Joyce says, I used to watch her every Saturday. I did not get so lucky. Like, I did not know anything about quilting anything when I was growing up, so watching somebody quilt on TV just wasn't, like, I didn't know. I don't think I watched PBS unless there was absolutely nothing else on, and I just happened to get caught by whatever I was watching. That's kind of what my take on PBS was when I was growing up. And I don't know if it was because it was the programming for my area, or if that is truly just why I didn't, like, I don't know if I just didn't catch it and just, like, I wasn't up early enough, or I was always busy, or what. And I know now, like, if I try to watch a quilting show on PBS or something, I want to say it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. And if I'm right about the timing, then that's kind of when I'm already doing stuff and busy doing other things. And I really would forget to stop and go watch. And PBS is not something that I have a VCR for anymore and record. So it is what it is. Let's see. Helen says, me too. Oh, okay. About watching her every Saturday. Yeah. She is entertaining. I will say that. She is very entertaining to watch. She wasn't the one that I was enamored with when I was going to Paducah. I absolutely loved... Oh, Deb has headed to bed. Good night, Deb. Thank you for being here. Yes, Rob. He says, I wish Nancy Zeman was still with us. Yes, right? I did watch her. I watched her more than Eleanor. Eleanor, Nancy, Alexanderson, and Fonz and Porter every Saturday, says Joyce. Right? Right? I did catch, I think I caught Nancy more than I caught anybody else. I might have caught Fonz and Porter a few times, but I definitely didn't catch Alex, and I didn't catch Eleanor very often. So yeah, it's definitely a matter of who your channels would catch. Glenda says I used to watch Nancy. Right, I did too. Nancy absolutely was fantastic because her whole point was bringing people in that gave you a reason to come back and watch her again. Like her whole point in sewing and doing the projects that she did wasn't just about, what was trendy, as much as it was about creating that viewership and creating the constant people to watch. Eleanor was just too perky for me, says Rob. That might be why I didn't watch her. Like, if I did catch her, I probably thought she was along the lines of those kids shows. So I might not have watched her because of that. And I really, guys, I did not know anything about quilting when I was growing up. So the whole quilting journey is all in my adult world. It was never in my kid and teenage years. Now, when I was a teenager, when I probably would have paid attention a little bit more to trying to watch more sewing and quilting content, that was about the time I was probably working. I was either going to cheerleading camps or cheerleading rehearsals or basketball games away, or I was going to volleyball games away, or going to volleyball games at all, or I was working. So, like, I did not have a lot of free time as a teenager. If I was not involved in one sport or, cheerleading or volleyball, I was working. Trying to earn money and pay for my car and pay for gas and all of that, thinking 99 cents, a gallon was highway robbery, back in the day. I remember the pumps, not having the option to go to $1 plus. Let's see. Helen says Eleanor was a special ed teacher before she got into the teaching of quilting. That explains a lot. That really explains, like, a lot of the questions in my head, Helen. So thank you. Pam says, I watched the quilting shows as a young mom. I'm much older than you. That's okay. You are allowed. You are allowed. I am getting the gray hair to come join you, so you're good. The gray hair is coming in. It is slow, but it is coming. It is. I'm not going to color my hair. My intention is to just let my gray come in naturally and just embrace it. I'm not going to worry about coloring it. I don't know when I'm going to even get it trimmed right now. So I think Fallon and I swapped positions because she got her hair cut and it's adorable. But I'm going to continue letting my hair grow for as long as I can handle it. Let's see. Joyce says, Helen, she used to do dumpster dive for fabric. Oh my gosh. Okay, now she's my kind of lady. She would be the friend that I would be the lookout for. Like, I wouldn't be the one dumpster diving for fabric, but I absolutely would be doing the watch out for. Susan is here. Welcome in, Susan. Sue, I think it's the first time I've seen you in my chat. Welcome, welcome. She says she took a Eleanor Burns class after the pandemic 2 years ago at Road to California. She was a lot of fun. For 2025, she will not be at Road to California, but there will be a bus tour to stop by her San Marcos shop. That's exciting. I've not been to Road to California either. I do want to, that is kind of like on my bucket list. I want to go to Road to California. Pam says Eleanor started her quilting business after her divorce to give her income as a mom of two. Yes, that is kind of the story that I understood with Nancy as well, is that she started it because she needed income, and that was the most profitable way for her to earn money and watch over her kids at the same time. Let's see. Judy says, I remember when we only had 3 channels and had to have rabbit ears to get PBS. I am not that old. I will say that. I am not that old. We did have rabbit ears, but we never used them. Let's see. Helen says, Joyce, I didn't know that. Yeah, no, I didn't either. That is kind of cool, though. That is really kind of cool. But knowing she was a special ed teacher, that makes a lot of difference. Like that explains like a lot of her behaviors and her mannerisms. Because those teaching techniques that you use in a special ed environment are fabulous for using in a quilting environment, because your goal is to teach and instruct on everyone's level, and everyone comes in at a different level. So that's fantastic. Charlotte says that she is that old. She's rabbit ears old. Okay. Joy says, I still watch Eleanor and Nancy on PPS. Yes. I would watch Nancy probably more than I would watch Eleanor, just because she fascinates me. Like she fascinates me. And I don't know what it is about Nancy over Eleanor. But Nancy, of course, didn't teach quilting, so that makes a difference too. So Blessed by Jess is here as well. Welcome in. Giovanna has also just joined the chat. She says, good morning, everyone. Welcome in, Giovanna. Welcome in, Jess. She says, hi, Tammy. First time catching your lives, enjoying your conversation. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. And thank you for subscribing. We are at 29 viewers, guys. That's still awesome. Let's see. Kathy says, I remember rabbit ears with tin foil on them to get better reception. I can believe it. Joy says aluminum foil on the ends of the rabbit ears helped. Oh my gosh. Yeah, probably. All right. So what time is it where you are, Giovanna? What time are we looking at? 4 o'clock in the morning? Am I off? 4:45, something like that? 3:45, 4:45? Let's see how close I got just by guessing. Because I am definitely guessing. Glenda says, I remember the rabbit ears and putting aluminum on the ears. Oh, goodness. I was not rabbit ears old. I mean, we had a set of rabbit ears, but we did have cable. So we did not have to use the rabbit ears. Now, I do remember when I visited my grandparents, one set of grandparents, they used rabbit ears. Thank you, Helen. I appreciate it. She says, need to give a thumbs up for Tammy. Thank you. 4:44? Okay. All right. That works. So we're almost 5 o'clock in the morning over at Giovanna's place. Yay! Welcome. Good morning, Giovanna. I'm your cup of coffee this morning. Oh, you guys are so funny. And I think, Jess, I caught you the other morning. Oh, or the other day. Where did I catch you? You were over at somebody's channel. You were over at somebody's channel. Oh, you were over on Donna's channel, I think. You and Donnell were over on Donna's channel. I think that's where I caught you. Because I've been hearing your name and then I just hadn't gotten over to catch you yet. So I needed to get over to catch you. Alright. So yeah, we are trimming, for all of you who are coming in fresh, Giovanna, she's like, I woke up to potty. That's okay. We don't mind. We'll be your stop before you go back to bed. That's fine. So I have a client that these are the blocks for their quilts. This is one of the test blocks. This is not the actual colors for their block. I am doing a whole bunch of, was it her birthday bash? No, it was one of the other ones. It was one of the other ones. I don't know which one it was, but it wasn't. Yes, the Modern Diamond. That's where I was thinking of. That's the one I was at. I don't think they do, Helen. Helen is asking Giovanna, do you guys celebrate Labor Day? And I don't think they do. So my client chose some beautiful batiks. So the pinwheels are made with these 2 different colors of green batiks. And they don't show up on camera as gorgeous as they are in person. It kind of looks yellowish on this light green, but it is definitely a green. I think if they do have a Labor Day, it is not the same day as ours. It would be somewhere else in the year if they do have one, but it is not. I don't think. There you go, right? Giovanna says we do, but on May 1st. Yeah, I didn't think it was in September. A lot of countries do have a Labor Day. Joey says for game show this morning, right? Right. So I do have a couple of blocks that I'm going to have to remake. But I do have enough of the light green fabric that I'm okay with that. The dark green I am going to have to poverty piece. Or I would have to go get more. And I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to have to make a decision soon. May 1st, like most of the world. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the U.S. is usually the oddball out. We do everything in some kind of different order. I love when people go, well, everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. Not on the day we do. Maritza has joined the chat. Welcome in, Maritza. She says hola and gives a wave. Ooh. I don't think I've heard of her, Judy. She says the lady on PBS that she liked was Shirley Adams. She did the Sewing Connection. I don't think I've caught her ever. Is she still alive? Is she still doing new episodes? Because I may have to go check out and see who she is so I have an idea. So guys, when I went to Paducah, every year that I went, my whole thing was going to the Ricky Timms concert. And so I would put that on my registration. So I made sure I went to the Ricky Timms concert. And like I went to his booth. And so it's kind of appropriate that I have a Ricky Timms edition machine. And it's an audition. It's autographed. No such thing as Thanksgiving here. Yeah, see, not every okay, so Shirley Adams did pass away. Okay, gotcha. Joy says, I don't remember her. Helen does. Yeah, so I don't know her. But yeah, Giovanna says no such thing as Thanksgiving here. Yeah, some countries do have a Thanksgiving. I think Canada does. But, like, we don't have Boxing Day, which is... I don't know if that's strictly England or if that's England and Australia. Katie, Thanksgiving is only a Canadian and American holiday. Canada's Thanksgiving is a month before ours. That's amazing. Thank you, Katie. And welcome into the chat, by the way. We are at 31 viewers, you guys. I am stoked. I think Labor Day weekend was the weekend to blow out how many viewers I get for the live. You guys are rocking it out for me. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting. I appreciate it. Now, we are going to do another live tomorrow night, and it is going to be a longer live. Katie says, I've been watching since you started. But see, the chat helps. The chat really helps. As did the thumbs ups. The live tomorrow, I'm going to start... we're going to start at 5:30 my time, 5:30 Mountain Time. And we're probably going to run till 10. So we're going to hang out. I've got the apartment to myself. We'll have the dog in here. We're going to... I don't know what all we're going to do. I know we're going to sew. We're not just going to cut. It's not going to be a cutting night. It's going to be a sewing night. Sewing and pressing. There's going to be a lot of it to go. And then, yeah, so we got a lot to go. I may have these pinwheels made by the time we start the live tomorrow, but then I can start joining the triangles on the outsides and see if we can get most of these blocks assembled. Because they really do go together fast once you get these pinwheels done. Katie says that she's multitasking. She had her son on FaceTime and talking to her friend Mel while we helped my son with things for his apartment. Oh, perfect. That's always exciting. Getting them going with the apartment is good news. It's very good news. So I did take a trip to Cheyenne yesterday. Let's see. Laura says, sorry I've been quieter tonight. I'm still trying to get my strength back since getting out of the hospital. Oh, you are fine, Laura. You are absolutely fine. No worries. I'm glad you are out of the hospital. Giovanna says Boxing Day is a British and Commonwealth holiday, but also in Italy we celebrate it, but not called that. Okay. That's awesome. See, we don't have Boxing Day at all. Kathy's asking Katie if her son is getting settled in well. Very good question. Very, very good question. I know that that's been a rocky road because he moved all the way across the country. And getting on your feet in a new location is never an easy task, especially when you have a lot going on. Judy says, feel better, Laura. Don't overdo it. Agreed. Please do not overdo it, Laura. If you overdo it, then I'm going to have surgery, okay? So you don't overdo it, and I won't have to have surgery. That's what we're going to go with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Right. So if I have to go into surgery, we're going to say it's Laura's fault. Just kidding. Not gonna blame anybody. It's all me. Chloe says, sorry to hear that, Laura. So hope you're feeling better, right? And Giovanna says, hi, Laura. Hope you're better. Laura prayers, says Glenda. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Katie says he's working on it. Items have started arriving at the apartment. Starting with nothing is hard. Yes, it is. Laura says that she is trying to take it slow, and thanks, Judy and Glenda. Yeah, starting over is very, very hard. I've had to do that on more than one occasion. And the only good thing that I can say about starting over is that because you sometimes can take it slow, you can pick the things that you really like and that matter to you. Good question, Giovanna. So I have had a spot on my wrist that we have not been able to determine what it is. Kathy says, Tammy, don't put that in the universe. We're only going to say that the rest will take care of it all. There you go, right? Yeah. Glenda says she hit her hubby. Nope, didn't happen that way. So I have a diagnosis of de Quervain's tendinosynovitis. That's, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, that's what it is. And so it's basically the tendons have been inflamed. They've caused a cyst that will not dissolve on its own. And so they're trying to say, well, don't use your wrist and see if that helps the pain go away. And it might help. But I'm already possibly looking at surgery anyway. So putting it out there, that, I was going to blame Laura. No, I'm not actually going to blame anybody. I'm already expecting that I probably will need surgery. I've already looked at surgeons so that I'm prepared if I do need to go that route because I do want as little downtime as possible. So that is kind of my goal. Downtime, low downtime, and good surgeon is kind of my deal. Katie says, do you all know that this is his first place ever? Well, congratulations to him. That is exciting. He's never had his own place, and it's the first time for Blaze to have his own room. That is good news. Kathy says, so happy for him, right? I agree. Glenda says, lol, just kidding about the hitting hubby. Yeah. Actually, and that's been kind of the thing with this. So I've had this thing on my wrist, and to feel it, it felt like bone, and it didn't move anywhere. Like, you couldn't sit there and push it and move it around or anything else. And so it didn't really, like, the primary care doctor, she sent me for an x-ray and an ultrasound, and both of those came back with, we don't know what it is, or we don't see it. And so she finally sent me to a specialist who's like, oh, well, that's what this is. Like, I mean, immediately. But I have had trouble with weakness and not being able to do things. And it is related to the weakness in my thumb caused by this. So, yeah. Giovanna says that must hurt. Ouch. It does when I take the brace off now. It didn't hurt that much, but I definitely could tell when I was overusing it. But my doctor didn't tell me that you don't need to overuse it. Like, you need to be super ginger with it. If in order for it to heal, or to heal where you're not going to be in pain all the time. And like, she didn't say anything, and I went to Dr. Google last night, and Dr. Google is like, well, here's information from Cleveland Clinic and all of these other high-end doctory places with all the research behind them, and they're going, completely immobilize that wrist for 4 to 6 weeks. Great. Agreed. So happy for them, says Glenda. That's wonderful, Katie, says Judy. Yeah, everybody's saying so happy for him. Yes, it's incredibly good news. I mean, fresh starts are always hard, no matter what kind of fresh start it ends up being. Like, if it's because of a good situation or a bad situation or whatever, a fresh start is always a good thing. It comes with the hope of so much to look forward to. So that's really good. Katie says, thank you all that has said prayers and send good tidings along with donations. We're so appreciative of all of you. I hadn't intended to bring this up in here. Oh, you're fine, Katie. You're fine. It's good news that he's getting set up in his apartment. That's really good news. Because we all kind of know that it's been going on for a bit. And that, he's needed a little bit of a helping hand up. So it's really good that we can all kind of follow up with it. So it's okay. It's okay. So yeah. Yeah, right. Kathy says, just knowing that they are safe is amazing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The last time I had to start over from scratch, kind of from scratch, was 2017. But before that, it was 2000. When was that? Kind of 2007 to 2008. More 2008 than anything else. So I'm kind of glad that it's been that long since I've had to start over. But I've been there. I know how hard it can be. Joyce says, good night, guys. My day started super early today. Happy tomorrow, however you celebrate it. Thank you, Joyce. You have a good evening. Katie says, it has kept me worried since it's all started. It's worrisome to worry about your child. Could get hurt by bad people. It is. But, that can happen no matter where they are. Your kids are never 100% safe from everything. You can't put them in a bubble because that's not fair to them. But you also can't, you can always worry. You're always allowed to worry. But you also have to relax knowing that there is always someone watching out for them. So that's a good thing. Judy says, no matter how old our children are, we always worry about them, right? Right? Let's see. All right. Yeah. Everybody's saying good night to Joyce, who is heading to bed. Guys, I am doing pretty darn good. I still have stacks, so don't get me wrong. I got stacks. I got stacks for days. So we're still working on them. But they're coming together. So I'm glad you guys are here and able to hang out with me for this. I really do appreciate it. This is giving me a lot to keep my mind busy and not worry about my wrists so much. And I don't typically do the poor pitiful me thing, but it can be more difficult. It can be more difficult to do when you don't have a different conversation to think about. So I'm glad you guys are here for that. So thank you. Giovanna says, yes, you have to let them go. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Guys, we are still at 27 viewers. I'm so excited. Told all of them if they ever need to come to us, our door is always open. See, there you go. That is sometimes all you can do. Sometimes all you can do is just keeping that door open so that they know how to get a hold of you. And, you know, the rest will work itself out one way or the other. It may not be to your liking, but whatever it is to its intended effect. Whatever that effect may be, we don't always have to like them. Rob says, I too am going to Guten Abend. Stay blessed, and we'll see you soon. Good evening, Rob. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Giovanna says, be careful, Tammy. Don't overdo it. I am being as careful as I can be. So the brace is to immobilize my thumb. I am allowed to still move my wrist if I want. So, like, they didn't say any restrictions on my wrist movement. So I can move it up and forward or up and back. I can't twist my wrist outside of twisting my whole arm. So it is limited range of motion. But when I am when I'm cutting, and this has been the biggest challenge, is to learn to do this. So when I'm cutting, I'm putting my ruler down, and then I am putting the metal part of my brace against the ruler and letting my arm do the pressure to hold my ruler in place. So I'm not actually using my fingers other than like using an index finger or whatever, using a little bit of pressure just to keep that edge down so I get a cleaner cut. That's all I'm doing. It's very light pressure there. Is the weather changing in Italy, Giovanna, says Katie. Very good question. Very good question. Our weather here is not changing much. It is going to be in the upper 90s tomorrow. I am ready for the cooler weather myself. I am looking forward to it, but because it is this hot, this late, I'm half expecting, and it's Kennedy or one of my other locals might be able to tell me, because this is a different weather pattern from last year. I think fall is coming already, says Katie. Judy says, my daughter's 39 years old and rides a motorcycle. I was such a nervous wreck. To make things easier, I track her on Life 360. She figured I would rest easier. She tracks me when I travel alone. See, that's one way to do it. That's actually a really good idea, especially for motorcycle riders, is to do Life 360 so that somebody can find where you went. So if you stop transmitting or something like that, they can get alerted or they can check in on you. That's a fantastic idea, actually. Slightly cooler, but it's still hot, says Giovanna. Yeah, right? I think it's hot everywhere still. I don't think it's cooling off well enough yet. It's going to be in the 80s in North Carolina this week. Oh, my goodness. That's a little bit cooler than what you guys have had. Can I be a little jealous? We have had major lightning storms the last 2 nights. Oh, no, you can keep those. We don't need those here. Judy, I think I like that idea, but not certain my kids would like it, says Laura. Yeah, it depends on the kid, depends on the parent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I know if I explained it to my kids correctly, they'd have been okay with me doing that. But my kids also know, I'm not going to pry. The only time I pry is when they tell me something and I need to know more information because whatever they just told me is not safe. Oh, yeah, no, I definitely am glad we do not have the lightning storms here. We are so dry here right now that we have so many fires going throughout the state. It is just not cool right now. We need some rain. Put out some of these fires and get everything under control. There's definitely not been enough rain in the right spots lately. So I've still got the Firewatch app and I'm checking it every day or two to see what the status on everything is. Judy says, I mainly check when I hear of a motorcycle accident, then I'll check her location. There you go. Fair enough. Giovanna says, my daughter sends me her position on the phone when she is out. That's awesome. And I mean, it's one of those things that, if you are one of those that doesn't, give your kids any room, maybe they might not want to do it because of that. Or it could be because they are one of those very independent types that feel suffocated very easily. It's a lot of different reasons. Judy, my youngest son, had a Harley and has been hit 3 times and he finally stopped driving them, says Glenda. Goodness gracious. You guys are making me worried. I've got friends that drive motorcycles. Goodness. All right, Laura says, I have one child, 29, one 32, so I think once I get a bit older, they wouldn't mind me tracking them. There you go. Next time they go to the doctor's office and they have a new diagnosis of something, that's when you go, okay, you're older now, so let's start tracking. If I was not married, my parents would probably want to be tracking me all the time. But because I'm married, they don't worry about it. But if I wasn't married, they definitely would be all up in my business, wanting to track me and all of that. Kathy says, my 2 younger and daughter-in-law are all on Life 360. Yeah. See, I would have to do it with like somebody local versus my parents that are halfway across the country. Because I think it would panic me too much for them to have my constant location all the way across the country, because then, what are they, are they Googling every location that I go to? Why are they using it? Because I have a husband, I'm okay. I mean, he'll report if I'm missing, believe me. So, it is what it is. Judy says, last time we went to Illinois, I stopped at Hancock Fabrics and it had a hiccup and it showed I was still there, and she called to make sure I was okay. Well, that works too. Giovanna says, I was 17 when I left home and traveled the world. Yeah, traveling the world now is a lot less, we're a lot more globally connected than we were when you were 17, or even when I was 17. And I don't think I could do it like now and not be connected with somebody who knows where I'm at. Like, I think my parents realize that I'm always going to tell somebody where I'm going. So I don't think they're that worried. Like, when I traveled, if my husband was busy or whatever, I always told 1 or 2 friends where I was going and where I was. So, like, I was checking in the whole way there, the whole way back, like everything, because my husband wasn't available. So, I check in. Jess says, my parents just give me the 3rd degree if I don't call enough. Oh, I got the 3rd degree from my mom for the same reason, because she kept sending me text messages and they weren't coming through. Well, my parents are on my phone plan, so I found out why. My mom was texting some poor unsuspecting Wyoming resident. That wasn't me. So I don't know what else she said to the poor unsuspecting Wyoming resident, but I feel for them. Like, I know what the number is. I could probably contact them and go, I'm so sorry that my mom had my number in her phone wrong. Please forgive her. Glenda says, yes, Laura, he has plates, screws, and wires in his left arm. He's very lucky to be alive. Oh my gosh. Yeah, very lucky. Giovanna says 1978 was different. Yes, it was. I wasn't here in 1978, so it was definitely different. The world was without a Tammy. I did not come along until after 1978. So, yeah, it was different. Katie says, y'all are so lucky to have parents that care that way. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I am one of those, I am very independent. Guys, my husband talks to my parents more than I do. So, like, when my mom wasn't able to get a hold of me, I told her, I was like, just text my husband. Tell him that, you texted me and that I wasn't responding. And so that way I can figure out what's going on. It worked wonders. Judy says, if Amy doesn't want us to know where she is, she will pause it for her privacy. I'm okay with that. Her daughter's 18 and she's on Life 360 with us. See, there you go. There you go. You got granddaughters, so, it's kind of important at that point. You need to know that, granddaughter isn't out there by herself, trying to figure out what's going on with her mom. So that works well. That works well. I do not have any kids living up here with me, so I don't have to worry about that all the time. Laura says, Glenda, I rode motorcycles with my boyfriend at the time. Then my brother was killed on a motorcycle. I've never ridden again. That was 32 years ago. Yeah, trauma will do that. Trauma will do that. I have a scar on my knee, one of my knees, from a bike accident, not motorcycle, just 10 speed. I have a scar on my knee from a bike accident when I was in 6th grade. And I did not ride a bike again until I was an adult. And the only reason I picked up bike riding again as an adult was because my son loved to ride a bike. And he finally got too fast for me to keep up with him. So the only way I could physically keep up with my son was to be on something motorized or be on a bike as well. So I will not tell you how much I cried that first time I rode a bike. It was not with my son around. I can tell you that. I did not make that mistake. But I definitely cried. It was hard to get back on a bike. And that was just a regular bicycle. I cannot imagine having that kind of accident or that kind of trauma and trying to get back on a motorcycle. I don't know that I could do that. Don't know that I could do it. All right. You guys, I am so excited that these are going so well. So when I cut all of these, I did cut them with plenty of give room to be able to trim them down. And so they're all coming out beautifully the same size. We're not going to have to fidget with them. We're not going to have to finagle them. They're going to go together beautifully. And then I'm going to still have room to trim down when we get the pinwheels together. Agreed. Yes. Everybody, we're definitely, it's tough to lose a family member, especially a brother. I'm not close to my brother, so I wouldn't know if anything happened to him. But I don't know that I could imagine losing a brother. Because everybody's saying, so sorry for Laura's loss of her brother 32 years ago. Yeah, it's tough. It is very tough when you lose a family member. No matter whether that's a parent, a child, a sibling, a spouse, no matter who it is, you never lose them from your memory. They're with you. They're with you. Just gotta say, they're with you. Judy says, I've always wanted a motorcycle until we had a patient come into the ER and passed away from an accident. Drunk lady hit him. He just dropped his daughter at the airport to go to Alaska. Oh my goodness. And that daughter was probably on that plane already, headed to Alaska by the time she got the news. Giovanna says that she broke her shoulder on a motorbike on the 9th of September 1979, which is 9979. Well, that's one way to remember it. I broke a finger on my 16th birthday. I remember that one. It's funny the dates that we can remember. Like, I don't remember exact, like, I could do the math and figure out what year it was. I'm not going to tell you guys that, but I know what year it was now. But yeah, my 16th birthday, I broke my finger. That was a painful day. That was a very painful day. Oh. So, there was something I was going to ask you guys. I'm trying to think of what it was. What was it? What was it? Goodness. He was 17. Oh, gosh. He lost out so many possible years of things he could have done or become. That makes it even tougher. At least you are here to live his memory on. So that is good news, Laura. 7/10/2010 is the day that Judy stopped smoking. That's a very good day. Katie says that she's never broken a bone but had stress fractures in her feet. I have not, knock on wood, I've not had that happen yet. Charlotte says, I've wilted everybody. Good night, Tammy and everyone. Have a good and safe Labor Day. I will be live tomorrow, Charlotte, so if you want to come catch a live tomorrow evening, 5:30 Mountain Time is when I'm going to get started. But good night, and thank you for being here. Kathy says, motorbikes are very dangerous, but not always because of the driver. People just don't pay attention. Yeah, they are. That is exactly what it is. Let's see. Giovanna says, the thing is, I was with my brother and my sister, who is miles away, fell and cut her knee at the same time. Now, that's kind of coincidence. That is very much a coincidence. What was my question, you guys? I definitely had a question in mind. I was going to ask you all tonight. I just realized what today is. I quit smoking September 1st, 2005. There you go. So you stopped smoking 19 years ago. Congratulations. Congratulations. 2005 was the year my son was born. There's a lot from 2005. That's probably the only one I'm going to go into, though, I think. Let's see. Golly, I did have a question, and I promise I didn't walk through a doorway. That was not why I forgot. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I know what it was. Maybe. We're going to try. Laura says, Kathy, the accident was entirely the other driver's fault. She admitted she wasn't looking. Yeah, see, that's usually how it goes. Judy says, congratulations. Oh, on the stopping smoking. Yes, absolutely. It was the year that Kathy met her husband. Perfect. Chloe says that she graduated college in 2005. So did I. I graduated. I walked graduation in May. And then actually graduated in August. Laura says today is actually her 34th wedding anniversary. Wow, congratulations. Pam says that she's headed to bed too. Good night all. Hope to be here tomorrow. Yes, please. Yay. 34 years. Goodness. My original, in 2004 when I got engaged to my first husband, our wedding was supposed to be Labor Day weekend in 2005. So Labor Day has kind of always been a rough holiday for me because if we'd waited until Labor Day, I would have walked out and not gotten married to him. But I can't go back and change the past. So, there's none of that to go into. But that would have been what happened. Yes, Giovanna says happy anniversary, Laura. Same from Chloe. Yes, and same from Kathy as well. That's a lot of years to be able to say that you have been married. Judy says that she's headed to bed herself. Her dogs get her up too early. I know, that's going to be my next thing. Is if I don't go to bed by a certain time, he is going to wake me up. And it will be in the most unceremoniously brutal way, because he will just be sitting. If you've never had a dog do this, it is very unsettling to wake up and realize that the dog sitting on the floor is staring at you, staring directly at your eyes, at your face, and the moment that you open your eyes, your dog is grumbling at you. Yeah. It's kind of unsettling. So I understand the dogs waking you up thing very well. My dog does it as well. Let's see. Okay, so here's the question. If I were to host a Zoom sewing day, how many of you would probably join in? How many of you would join the Zoom and be on camera or whatever and come hang out. Katie says her doxy is all verbal about everything right there. Yep. Giovanna says been there. Yep. Oh, okay. So one of my friends this weekend, I did barn block painting on Saturday. That's why I didn't have a live yesterday morning. I was already busy. I was already at the barn block painting. My blocks are actually in the corner over here behind stuff. I've got to finish them. They are not done. I'm mostly done, but they are not finished. According to what time, but I'm all for it, says Kathy. Awesome. And Giovanna says also depends on the time. Okay. That works. I am thinking maybe when we do, Chloe says I would join Zoom if it worked for my schedule. I am thinking maybe a Saturday or a Sunday, kind of taking the day and kind of do like a mini retreat, if that makes sense. Laura says, I can honestly say that I'm more in love with my hubby today than the day I married him. He's my world. That's exactly where I want to be when we hit our 8th anniversary. I want to keep saying that. And I want to keep saying it every year. So, yes, that's awesome. Kathy says that her husband had a blue pit that didn't like me sleeping in the same bed as my husband. I would wake up to the pit between my husband and I with her staring at me. I can totally see a pit bull doing that. They are very, very baby dogs. So, you're with my dad. How dare you be hanging out with my dad? I'm going to get in the middle. I could totally see that. There are a lot of Zooms going on lately. Yes, there are, Giovanna. There definitely are. So what I'm thinking is for the Halloween long one. That would be scary, right? Her head was bigger than mine, says Kathy. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. So what I'm thinking about, Glenda says that she's not a Zoomy person yet. No worries. I'm thinking about doing it as just a Zoom, not as an actual live. She thought she was still the little 5-pound puppy, but she was a sweetheart as long as I did not touch my husband. Well, that kind of makes life difficult, doesn't it? That's kind of a hard boundary to abide by, is not touching. She is the PDA police. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing a Zoom, and it will not be live, at least not my first one, won't be. And I'm thinking about doing one every 4 months or so. So September, so maybe back in January again. So if I do one here in September, then we'll do it again in like January. Jess says that she'll Zoom. She loves getting to know people. Perfect. So what I would do is I would publicize it on the YouTube page, and it would work kind of like a retreat. And I've heard that Becca has done the Zooms like this. I haven't reached out to her directly to see how it worked with it as well. But what I'm thinking about doing is doing the Zoom. It won't be published on YouTube, so you don't have to worry about accidentally spilling the surprise for, if you're making a gift or something like that. But just kind of come and go as you please. So, like maybe host it for 8 to 10, maybe 12 hours, a 12-hour Zoom. And, come in for a little bit, leave if you need to leave, come in, hang out to chat, come in, hang out to see what's going on, see what other people are working on, show what you're working on, kind of like an open conference room, where you're just walking by and there's, people in there with sewing machines and you got to see what's going on. Joy says, what did I miss? My sister called to let me know how my oldest brother is doing. Well, that's good. I'm glad she called you. We are talking about doing a mini quilt conference or mini quilt retreat via Zoom, and it would not be published live, so you don't have to worry about, the whole world seeing your face or hearing your voice. It'd just be the people in the Zoom. You will have to register for it. I don't want to just open it up and leave the link for everybody to get in there. So, I don't want spammers and all of that coming in. So it will be, whoever sends me a request by a certain time. So there will be a cutoff, kind of like a retreat would actually be, like a quilt retreat would be. But it'll be a lot of informal. You guys, you'll see me just like you're seeing me now. I'm not going to be totally different or anything like that. I'm not a different person in person. So you guys will still see me, and I'll be here for part of it. I may have to step out, walk the dog, things like that. Giovanna says, on the 15th is my birthday. We're having a Zoom with Lisa and Deb. Well, happy birthday on the 15th. I will have to remember that. Let's see. I've got it marked. You'll send an email of the link. Yes, that's exactly how that's going to work. And that way we know how many people are going to show up. Laura says, Glenda, I'm with you. I'm not a Zoomy person. So here's the other thing. With Zoom, you do not necessarily have to have your camera on. So if you are interested in possibly just being able to type or being able to chat without typing, the Zoom would still be an option for you. So you would just have to have your microphone on where you could talk to people and hear their responses. I don't remember people's faces. So even if your face was on there, I wouldn't remember it. But I will remember people's voices. So I'm very audibly engaged, if that makes sense. Oh my goodness. You're going back to work on your birthday, right? Because you're going back on the 3rd, right? Chloe said that her birthday is on September 3rd. All these September birthdays. Yes. Giovanna says you can be with just voice. Yes. Yeah, I know you can. I had not even thought about that being an option. But yeah, that is definitely an option. I do not have a problem with people who want to be in there just voice only. So that is okay with me as well. And that eliminates the barrier of having to type. Because I know a lot of people may not want to chat just because typing is sometimes so difficult. Giovanna is happy birthday to Chloe, and Laura is happy birthday to Chloe and Giovanna, right? I love doing Zoom. I can put a face to my quilty friends I have. Right, Joyce? Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I am thinking about doing that. It will be towards the end of September. Chloe says, I took the day off, first day of school for the girls. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, there's, so school has already started here for public school, and private schools here start on September 3rd as well. Kathy says, it is so much fun to be able to actually talk with others. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So if you guys want, put in whether you would prefer me to do a Saturday or a Sunday. Which would be easier? If we did that last weekend of September, it's the 28th and 29th. Those are the 2 last days of September. Let me know which one would be easier for you. Which one you'd prefer if I get an option to choose. And Giovanna says, I love it too. As you must have noticed, I love chatting, right? And I do not expect anyone to stay the full 12 hours, okay? So hosting it for 12 hours gives people on both East and West Coast and overseas the chance to log in, hang out for a bit, and go about their regular schedules without feeling super rushed or, we got to get there, at a certain time. Glenda says, happy early birthday to Giovanna and Chloe. Chloe says Sunday would be preferred. Giovanna says Saturday. Okay. Well, we got 2 differing votes so far. Kathy says really just according to the time. If I'm doing a 12-hour one, then again, you can jump in or jump out however you need to. And we could actually kind of do it as an over the night, or we can do it during the daytime. Like we can pick 12 hours during the middle of the day, or we can, I will talk to the husband about, the timing and such. Kathy says Saturday would be easier, but I know my husband works off September 25th, so I'm not sure if he will be in. Okay, that makes sense. So he's off starting that Wednesday. Okay. We can see what we can do. I know I can't do it that previous weekend because there is no way I'm going to have any time to get things going. I need to wait until after the bubble quilt is done, and then I will have time to relax and do that. So it would have to be that last weekend in September. And then in October, we are still going to be doing the spooky Halloween Town Assembly Day. And that one's going to be a long live as well, but that's going to be me going live, not necessarily people zooming in, unless there's somebody who wants to come zoom in with me, who wants to come work on a project and come hang out while I put Halloween Town together. So somebody who does like spooky things, or who can help me be spookier, because I'm not a super spooky person. I like spooky things, but I'm not a super spooky person. I'm not a horror movie. So, like, if somebody wants to talk about horror movies, you can be my guest, because that will not be my thing. Kathy says he doesn't mind me on Zooms and sewing, but sometimes he needs to eat. Apparently, when here, he forgets where the food is located. Okay, so Kathy, you could do what I do. So, I don't have to do this for my husband. This is for me when my husband is gone, okay? So, I don't forget where the food is, but I forget how to fix food. Like, fixing it, like creating food into a meal is not something I am very good at. It is not something I feel like I want to do. Jess says, Kathy, that's hilarious. I know, right? So, here's what I do. And this is something that is recommended to a lot of spoonies. Oh, he doesn't know where the fridge is either. Oh, he'll eventually figure it out. I promise. He gets hungry enough, he'll figure it out. He's just abusing the privilege of having you there. I mean, how did he eat before you two met and got married? He had to figure out where a fridge was before then. I assure you. I meal prep and have it in the bowls in the fridge. There you go. Make him a treasure map. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. Okay, so what I do, if I am trying to, Giovanna says that she's off and she'd like to get a little more sleep, so good night. Have a great evening. Thank you, Giovanna. Good morning to you. Sleep well. Get that extra sleep in, and we will see you sometime later in the day. It'll probably be tomorrow before I see you again. It'll be tomorrow here. It'll probably be tomorrow there too. So what I do, and what was recommended to me as a spoonie, is to take a tray and put a tray in the fridge. And on that tray, I put all the different things that I'm likely willing to eat that are good options. That are healthy options, that are, things I would, I don't know. Like, I do have a freezer box, too, that I use. So, like, a little section in the freezer of things that are quick for me to microwave. What time is live tomorrow? It starts at 5:30 p.m. my time. So, that is 6:30 p.m. your time. So I will put a bag of chips on there. I will put cheese sticks. I will put some little Lunchable things on there. I will put grapes are a really good option for me. I might put like one candy bar or something. Like I'll put different things on the tray. And if I don't want my non-refrigerated things refrigerated, then I will put a separate tray on the counter. And then all I have to do when I'm not really in the mood to fix anything or eat anything, and I know I need to, I will pull the tray out, pick out something on that tray to eat, and whatever's left I put back, and it just stays on the tray until it's all gone. And you know, if I'm sitting down and I feel like eating 3 or 4 grapes, then that's what I eat. And then if I feel like eating a cheese stick, I'll go ahead and eat that. And then if I feel like I'm kind of full or kind of, you know, done for a little bit, all I have to do is go put it back in the fridge. And that's all I have to do. I don't have to fix anything. And it works fantastic. So I am one of those people that the recommendation is to put everything on the tray. So like the chips or whatever, you know, put that on the tray too. Just put the bag of chips on there. But I don't like my chips refrigerated. So those will sit out, you know, other things will sit out that don't need refrigeration. But I do tend to have things in the house that if I eat 4 or 5, it's okay. It's not going to completely crash the rest of my diet, but it's going to give me some kind of nutrition or some kind of food in my system that my body tolerates very well. And it prevents me from not having eaten at all because I'm guilty. I'm very guilty. Sorry. I do also stock Dr. Peppers in my fridge. Kathy says that her husband would lose it. He likes to eat out a lot. I do too. I will say this. When I don't employ the tray system, if my husband is out, you better believe that I am likely visiting McDonald's once a day and Arby's, Burger King, you know, Wendy's. I'm visiting some drive-through, you know, for a second meal sometime throughout the day. Like I might eat out twice a day if my husband's not home and I have not done a tray. If I've done a tray, I'm fine. I will eat whatever's on the tray. Kathy says, we don't have things like that in the house, but like tonight I made stuffed chicken with sauteed collard greens and portioned it out. See, I won't eat leftovers very well. There are very select items that I will eat as leftovers. And so those might be things that I would put on a tray for myself. So I would actually there's one like pasta dish that I would eat that I don't have to fix. I don't have to heat it up. Don't have to do anything. But I can't eat a lot of it. But I would eat it. So, like, it's in the pantry, and my husband knows I will eat it. And every so often, he'll ask, do you want me to fix your pasta thing? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and fix it. Or I'll tell him, no, I'm not in the mood for it. But, you know, that way I have something to eat when he's not here. And when he is here, like, and then he's, like, gone for the evening or something like that, like, is about to happen because he's about to start helping with a theater production thing. He will make sure that there is something in the fridge that is easy for me to prepare. Or even right before he leaves, he will, like, turn the oven on and get it put in the oven. So all I have to do is set the timer. And I can pull things out of the oven and turn the oven off. Like that I can do, and I'm cognizant to do it. But, like, fix it myself, I will not even think about it until, like, 9 o'clock at night. And he'll be home in an hour, and some of my stuff takes, like, an hour to heat up in the oven. So, like, I would completely just not eat. Because why? Katie says, first thing I do when I go home is to go to McDonald's or BK. I don't blame you. She says that they do not have them here in Greenland. Kathy says that she makes homemade freezer meals too, just like what you would buy in the store, but with better ingredients. That makes sense. He doesn't cook the stuff that I would want like that, and the stuff that I've fixed, I'm bored with, so I don't tend to eat it. There's just no good trade-off, is the best way to put it. Glenda says I stopped eating chips and candy. It was very hard to do. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I used to, this is years ago. I used to sit in front of the TV and bring the bag of chips with me and sit in front of the television and eat chips until the bag was gone. I could go through an entire regular size bag of chips in a day because I would mindlessly eat. So I don't do that anymore. So what I do with doing the tray, I don't put the bag of chips on the tray. I put a bowl of chips. Like I will, if I'm going to bring chips out to the living room to go sit and eat mindlessly, there's going to be a stopping point. I'm going to empty the bowl, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to go back for seconds or thirds. I'm going to stop when I get to the end of the bowl. And so that has helped. Chloe says that's hard to do, Glenda. I try and fail. Yeah. So when I had my stomach surgery in 2016, they kind of fixed the sugar part for me. I even failed today. Like I ate a little too much sugar and my body just completely rejected it. Laura says I might eat chips or candy once or maybe twice a year. I eat candy like once or twice a year. Like, well, aside from my gobstoppers that don't raise my blood sugar that much, like candy bars, if I hadn't eaten what I ate earlier today, and then of course my body rejecting it, I would, before that, I think it was maybe 6 weeks or so ago when I last ate something other than like gobstoppers, where I ate candy, or like a candy bar or something like that. So I mean, it's few and far between for the candy. Chips are definitely a weakness for me. Kathy says potato chips were her weakness. Yes, potato chips are a weakness because they give you that dopamine rush. Glenda says mine too, Kathy. I could eat a big bag at one sitting. Yeah. That was what my problem was. I could sit and eat the entire bag. Now, granted, I was watching like Law and Order SVU, or, I was binge watching TV shows. So that didn't help me either. So one thing I also do now that I did not do before is if I watch TV, salt and fat and chips. Yeah, it is. And it gives your brain a dopamine rush, so it makes you feel good that you're eating them. But it's counterproductive because your body doesn't have anywhere to put all of that if you're not burning it off. Kathy says I don't really care for chocolate unless it is a York peppermint patty or chocolate covered cherry. Mine used to be Three Musketeers was one of my weaknesses. And then white chocolate is kind of still a weakness. My husband bought me a pack of the popping candy Hershey's bars, where they come in the like 4-pack or whatever. I still have 3 bars. Like I've had it for a while, but I've still got 3 bars. Like it's not going anywhere very quickly. The candy that I got into today, I just ate too much of it, and it does not settle well at all. Kathy says we have done a complete change on how we eat here. Yeah, you kind of have to. You kind of have to after a while. But yeah, I don't sit down and watch. I don't binge watch like I used to. I used to sit down and watch like TV with commercials because we had cable. And I would watch Law and Order or, the USA Network or whatever. And when they would get done with one episode, they immediately start that next episode. So they're giving you a preview of what that episode is going to be. And I would get hooked. And I go, well, I'm just going to watch like 15 minutes of this new episode and see what's going on. And then I'll turn it off. And then I was doing that to the next episode that came on. And the next episode. So with me now, what I do, if I do have one show right now that is my binge show, if you will. It is on Netflix instead of on regular TV. So I don't have a set time of when I can watch it. I can watch it whenever I want to. And I do set myself a limit of watch one episode, and when the next episode comes on, I turn it off. Like immediately when that episode ends, I am turning off the TV. Because that is the only way that I'm going to keep myself from getting back into that habit. Glenda says mostly eat meats because that's the only thing I don't get hives from. That's probably a good choice then. Ooh, I could really go for some of those. Okay. I'm thinking. They have these like cured hams. I guess I don't know if it's. I guess it is cured. But it's like ham steak kind of things. And I got some the last time we were at the commissary, but I didn't think about going to the commissary this time and getting any. And I'm kind of disappointed. Because those are really good for me to snack on. I do eat a lot of meat. I do eat a lot of cheese. Because it is higher protein than some of the other options. I don't eat as many empty foods as I used to. Yeah. I'm starting to wind down, you guys. I'm starting to hit that point. But we have made fabulous progress. I think we're going to cut the last of this, and then we'll cut one more. I'm so glad you guys have hung out this long. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Kathy says garlic butter bites are wonderful. Ooh. Well, I don't know if Glenda will react to them or not. Garlic butter bites. I might have to look into those. I might have to look into them. Because I do like garlic. I do like butter. I like some things I probably shouldn't. At least for going out in public. Jess says, I've had stomach surgery 4 years ago in December. I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah, it's that whole dumping syndrome. Yeah, gotta love it, really. No, not really, but it does keep me honest. Kathy says, I don't have to work tomorrow since I am still here. Right? So you won't be able to stay all the way until 10 tomorrow. Because I am planning to stay here that late. However, I know that I will have to get up and go get another drink or something like that as well. Kathy says her sister makes them with stew meat, but I make them with a more tender cut. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that I didn't know. Laura says I tend to eat more protein. Yeah, I try to. One of the things that my surgeon recommended, and they still highly recommend, is the pure protein shakes, because your body can metabolize all of that protein more so than any of the other brand of protein drinks out there. So pure protein is what they espouse and they recommend. However, it has enough whey protein in it that my body does reject it. So dairy has become, like, I can do cheese, but I can't do ice cream or milk as much as I could beforehand. Kathy says that tomorrow is going to be her clear out day. Ooh, clear out the fridge? Is that what we're talking about? I am going to get out and go tomorrow to Crimson Dawn. I'm going to get out and go to one of the hiking trails and just walk around a little bit. But we're going to do it early in the day, or earlier in the day possibly, so that the heat won't be so bad for me. Kathy says we eat more protein here as well, but if we eat veggies, the protein comes first. Yeah. And that's how I eat my meals. So, like, if I have, veggies on my plate or whatever, I eat my protein first and tend to clear out my protein before I eat veggies. Unless I'm just eating a lot, and then I, like if I've recently eaten a lot, I'm good to fudge a little bit. But if I haven't, then protein is definitely my first choice. Laura says, Kathy, that is the same with me. Yeah, I really wish that I could handle those pure protein shakes like I used to, because those would absolutely help me with, like, the meals and such. When I don't feel like eating, they'd be a fantastic substitute, but I can't tolerate them. I can't drink a whole one, even if I wanted to. I can't even drink a full half of one without getting sick to my stomach. Let's see. Oh no, I need a dumpster. I'm getting rid of things from my house. My husband has gone to work until September 25th, so I can throw away things and he won't even miss them. There you go. Kathy says that she can't do the shakes at all. Yeah, I could do them if they're made with almond milk. So I've done, like, the berry shakes and things like that out of the freezer section at Walmart, because they've got some that are like berries, and all you do is, like, mix it with ice and water or almond milk or whatever milk you want, and those I can tolerate, but I can only tolerate those in small batches as well. So, like, I can't drink a full shake anyway. It's a texture thing. Oh, okay. Joyce says, me? Okay, so you do want to do the Zoom as well, Joyce. Awesome. Yay. Yay. Okay, so these are the ones that are done. These are the stacks that are done. And these are the 2 stacks that are not done. Okay. So we got 4 stacks that are done, 2 that are not. So in the morning, what I will do is I will continue to work on trimming those down. But tomorrow night, we will probably be sewing these together if I haven't had a chance to do anything before that. Let's see. Kathy said it was a texture thing. Laura says that she can't stand the artificial taste from the shakes. It depends on the flavor. I can't do the strawberry, and the vanilla has started to get to me. I could do the bananas and cream for a little bit, and I could do, what was the other one? The birthday cake for a little bit. But now I'm starting to have trouble with those two. Kathy says that she uses them in a Ninja Creamy and make ice cream. Oh, now that makes sense. Glenda says, Kathy, don't overdo it, right? Glenda says that I did good. Thank you. So, I mean, I've still got a couple of blocks worth to fix one way or the other. But compared to the amount that I've done, I'm kind of proud of myself a little bit. Kathy says that she only uses a berry blend and do one maybe every couple weeks. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I just can't do the dairy, the whey protein. And I have tried some of the vegan protein options, and they just, when you start swapping out dairy protein for vegan protein, you tend to get an earthy flavor. and sometimes the texture is not where it needs to be either. So it's a trade-off there. So, okay. It is 4 minutes till 10 here. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, but I will be live tomorrow evening at 5:30. I don't have the live scheduled yet. I am with the Ninja. You don't have to use dairy. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know that I'm going to pre-schedule the live, but I will get. I think it's going to be one of those get it done ones. So like I'm just going to do the get stuff done live. So that's how we're going to come up tomorrow. So don't panic that there's not a live scheduled. I will get the live going on time, if not early. Just depends on what time somebody heads out to go to the theater. Katie saying good night. Thank you, Katie. Referring to the cleaning. Yes, right, Glenda? Right? Kathy does not need to overdo the cleaning. Don't hurt yourself doing the cleaning. But I will see you guys tomorrow evening, and thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Chloe. We will get going and see how much of this we can get put together and see where we end up with by the end of tomorrow night. All right, you guys, have a great Labor Day until I see you guys again. Thank you for being here. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already on the way out. And if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out and helps YouTube know that the content is engaging and that you guys are enjoying hanging out with me here.